define your subject, define if you're just shooting the wave, if you're shooting a specific surfer, and anticipate for what they're gonna do. That's why it's so important to know the sport. Like I said before, I wasn't raised in surf culture or like the surf lifestyle or sport even. For me, it was all new. So I had to learn the sport because you are working with high speed all the time. So you have to be able to anticipate what's gonna happen. You need to know what the maneuvers are gonna be. You need to know what the surfer is gonna do, if he's gonna do a trick, if he's gonna do an air, if he's gonna get barreled. And so for that, you need to know the sport so you can be in the correct position to get the perfect shot. I usually use my shutter speed high because everything is in movement, so my photo doesn't look like it's all blurry or moved or everything. So I never use it below 1,000. I usually go from 1,000 to 2,000, and from there I usually shoot in the mornings when the waves are better. And so most cases you have really sunny mornings, beautiful morning with light and everything. So my settings would be around, I don't know, let's say 2,000 for speed, for shutter speed, and then I would do maybe 200 ISO. And what I would shift and what I usually move is just my focus, right? So what I usually just change or adapt in the moment would be my F settings, right? And it depends if I want to be just getting the surfer focused or if I want to have the whole wave and the whole scenery also in there. But because I'm working with high moving objects, I usually don't lower it from like a 6. Just to make sure everything is in focus and it's not just his face or it's not just his feet, but the whole subject is in focus. And usually I like the wave to be in it too. The background doesn't need to be there sometimes, like as sharp or in focus or whatever. But it depends what you're going for. And if you're in a place where it's super important that it's seen that's that special town or that special, cliff or mountains in the back. So, what I adjust or move in the moment would be my F settings. For me, I use the 3D. I have a Nikon D800, and that's because I want to be focusing on the moving subject, which in this case is a surfer. So with that, it allows me to be tracking my subject in movement towards me. And that's the settings that I use for my camera and has worked for years. Also, the light. The light is really important in getting a very unique photo, especially in surf photography. Like I was saying earlier, depends on the movement of the sun, the waves and everything is gonna be the light that you're gonna have. So if you're shooting in the morning, you're usually gonna have bright water, blue usually, and you're gonna see a little bit more through the ocean. If you're shooting in the evening, you're probably not gonna be able to see through the ocean. It's gonna probably a more greenish look, and you're gonna have to know where the sun is setting and how fast, like what time is sundown, so you can prepare for that, because once it's getting super dark, it is hard to get some good photos, especially because you're working with high speed, high shutter speed. So if you want to have a good session, you have to know what time the sun comes up, what time the sun comes down, and prepare accordingly.